Part 3. My sister-in-law always treated me like dirt, but when she crashed my wedding and ruined my dress, nobody expected what my mother-in-law did next. The look on her face when the inheritance was announced made everything worth it. Tom and I are focusing on our life together and healing from all the drama. We've started couples therapy to process everything that's happened and ensure we're on the same page about boundaries with his family moving forward. Our therapist, Dr. Mitchell, has been amazing at helping us understand how trauma can ripple through families and how to break those cycles. She's helped us develop strategies for supporting each other while maintaining healthy boundaries with Jane and others. We're learning that it's possible to be compassionate without becoming enablers, and that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is maintain firm boundaries. The silver lining in all of this is that it's made our relationship even stronger. We're truly partners who face everything together. I've learned that sometimes standing up to bullies isn't just about protecting yourself, it's about breaking patterns that hurt everyone involved. Jane's behavior wasn't just hurting me, it was hurting her, her children, and the entire family. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is refuse to enable toxic behavior, even if it causes short-term pain. As for the inheritance situation, Sarah has kept her word about the 75-25 split, but has added conditions after consulting with both her lawyer and family therapist. She's structured it in a way that encourages growth and healing rather than punishment. The new conditions require both Tom and Jane to attend therapy and show documented progress in personal growth. There are also specific clauses about maintaining civil relationships within the family, not just superficial politeness, but genuine effort to resolve conflicts healthily. Sarah's lawyer helped her include measurable criteria for this, like participating in family mediation sessions and following therapist-recommended communication guidelines. It's no longer about punishing Jane, but about helping both her children become better people and ensuring the family's legacy supports healing rather than enabling dysfunction. That both Tom and Jane need to attend regular therapy and demonstrate personal growth to maintain their portions. It's no longer about punishing Jane, but about helping both her children become better people. Final update. It's been 6 months since my last update, and I felt it was time to share what's happened since then. A lot has changed, mostly for the better. Jane has been consistently attending therapy for 4 months now. Her therapist diagnosed her with several issues that she's working through, and while I won't share the specifics out of respect for her privacy, it helps explain some of her behavior. This isn't an excuse for what she did, but it provides context and a path forward. The most significant change has been in her relationship with her kids. After 3 months of supervised visits and showing genuine progress in therapy, she's now allowed to have them every other weekend. Her ex-husband says she's like a different person with them, more patient, more present, more loving. They're taking co-parenting classes together, and while they won't be getting back together, they're learning to be better parents. Something particularly touching happened last week during one of our supervised visits. Jane brought a small photo album she had found while packing up her things for her move to a new apartment. It contained pictures from when she and Tom were kids, including several of her protectively holding baby Tom. As she showed us the photos, she started crying, saying she could finally see how her desire to protect her brother had twisted into something toxic. Her therapist, who was present, helped her express her feelings in a healthy way, and for the first time, I felt like I was seeing the real Jane, not the angry, jealous person she had become, but the loving sister who had somehow lost her way. Tom was deeply moved by this moment. Later that night, he confessed that he had almost forgotten that side of his sister existed. While we're still maintaining strong boundaries, this glimpse of the old Jane has given us hope that real healing might be possible. Not just superficial politeness or forced civility, but genuine reconciliation. Last week, she gave me a handwritten letter apologizing for everything, particularly about the wedding dress. She had done research about dress restoration and found a specialist in France who might be able to help repair the damage that the first restoration couldn't fix. She offered to pay for it herself, no strings attached. Sarah has been our rock through all of this. She's faced her own guilt about enabling Jane's behavior over the years and has been working with a therapist to understand how to better support both her children while maintaining healthy boundaries. The inheritance situation remains the same, but it's no longer the focal point of family discussions. Tom and I are expecting our first child, something I haven't shared in previous updates because we wanted to wait until we were past the first trimester. When we told the family last week, Jane's reaction was telling. Instead of her previous jealousy, she offered genuine congratulations and even asked if she could help plan the baby shower, but said she would understand completely if we weren't comfortable with that yet. It was the first time I'd seen her acknowledge and respect our boundaries without prompting. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm proud of how Tom and I have handled everything. We've learned that sometimes the hardest paths, setting boundaries, demanding accountability, refusing to enable toxic behavior, are ultimately the most loving choices we can make, not just for ourselves but for everyone involved. We're building our own family now, one based on mutual respect and love rather than control and jealousy. Tom and I have learned so much about setting healthy boundaries and standing up for ourselves. We've made a pact to always communicate openly with each other and to never let anyone, family or not, come between us. Our therapist says we're doing the work now that will make us better parents in the future, breaking cycles of toxic behavior before they can affect the next generation. The nursery is already painted, a soft sage green that reminds me of new beginnings. My students helped me make a beautiful mobile for above the crib, each child contributing their own special touch. Even in my darkest moments dealing with Jane, my kindergarteners reminded me daily of the pure, unconditional love that families should represent. Now, as I feel our baby kick, I'm more certain than ever that standing up to toxicity was the right choice, not just for me and Tom, but for our child's future. And maybe, just maybe, Jane will eventually become the sister-in-law I always hoped she could be.